Developments in the attack on New York City police officers. This afternoon, the man suspected of walking into a precinct station house in the Bronx and opening fire appeared before a judge for the first time.
And earlier in the day, the officer who was shot inside the precinct was released from the hospital. Lieutenant Jose Gautreau walked out of Lincoln Hospital just after noon today. CBS News' Hazel Sanchez live now in the concourse section of the Bronx with more details. Hazel.
Yeah, Christine, we're outside criminal court where suspect Robert Williams was arraigned earlier today. That courtroom was packed with police officers wanting to get a good look at him. Prosecutors telling us that Williams admitted he was the gunman who opened fire on police over the weekend and didn't hesitate to explain why, allegedly telling investigators he's, quote, tired of police.
Slumped over in sweats, his ear bandaged and face beaten up from his Sunday morning arrest. Alleged gunman Robert Williams appeared before a Bronx judge. A blue sea of solidarity filled the courtroom to capacity to see the man accused of trying to kill two of their own.
We have to follow this case to make sure we get justice, to make sure this mutt stays behind bars for the rest of his life. Why? Because he's a cop killer.
45-year-old Williams is accused of ambushing police twice in 12 hours over the weekend. Today in court, prosecutors say Williams confessed to both shootings, telling investigators he was, quote, tired of police. Prosecutors say while in custody at the hospital, he also told police officers at his bedside, quote, I'm going to shoot one of you when I get out. Williams has a violent past with more than a dozen prior arrests. He served 15 years in prison for attempted murder before allegedly targeting the NYPD in the Bronx. On Saturday night, video shows the gunman opening fire on a police van in Hunts Point. Police officer Paul Straffolino hit in the chin and neck. After the shooting, prosecutors say Williams walked to a restaurant and ordered dinner. The next morning, the state says Williams had breakfast, then casually walked into the 41st Precinct station house and opened fire, a bullet hitting Lieutenant Jose Gautreau in the arm. About a dozen police officers rushed to subdue Williams after his gun jammed and he dropped to the floor. Gautreau was released from Lincoln Hospital today, nearly jumping out of his wheelchair as New York's finest cheered him on. Police Commissioner Dermot Shea applauded his bravery and resilience.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And if you see, I opened the door, and before you asked me, I told him, hurry up, get back to work. No malingering in this NYPD. So really lucky. I want to thank everyone for the support today.
Now, suspect Robert Williams faces dozens of charges, including 13 counts of attempted murder on a police officer in the first degree. He's being held without bail and is due back in court on February 14th. We're live outside criminal court in the Bronx. Hazel Sanchez, CBS 2 News.